Hi everyone and welcome back to Theme Park Worldwide, bringing you the latest theme park and attraction news from all around the globe. Now over the past couple of weeks I've already filmed quite a few videos talking about some of the really exciting Disney Parks news that was all announced a couple of weeks ago at the D23 Expo in Anaheim, California. It happens every couple of years and Disney always make their big park announcements there. Whether it's new lands, attractions, shows, there's always stuff going on at D23, and this year so much was announced for all of the parks. So like I say, if you haven't already, make sure you head out to the Theme Park News playlist here on the channel, and there you'll be able to see all of the different videos that I've already filmed about the various different Disney park announcements that are coming over the next few years to the parks. This one though I am really excited for because it's Disneyland Paris. It was the first Disney park that I ever visited. Along with that, they really do need more investment, and it's also our closest to us here in the UK, just being a short flight away over in France. So it's great to see more constant investment coming to what is our local Disney park. Even though it's in another country, it's still the closest one to us. And you know what? We're looking forward to getting back to Disneyland Paris later this year as part of our Disney year on the channel, visiting every Disney park in the world throughout 2024. So that's something to look forward to as we move more towards the winter season. But yes, on to this announcement. Now, of course, Walt Disney Studios is currently undergoing a huge transformation into Disney Adventure World. They did announce earlier this year they're going to be changing the name of the park, the branding, the logo, everything's going to be changing to Disney Adventure World from 2026. And that's when they're going to be opening the new World of Frozen area. You've got the lake, the whole kind of promenade and the expansion of the park. We did originally think this was maybe going to open in 2025, but it was confirmed at D23 that 2026 is going to be the opening for this. I don't mind that too much. I'd rather the whole area kind of get finished off to a really nice standard, all the landscaping grow, so we're not just walking in and everything's looking really new and hasn't really settled in. I think it'll be quite nice actually, waiting that little bit longer for all the trees and landscaping to really kind of take over the area, and it looked really nice because obviously Walt Disney Studios, as it's still known at the moment, really does need more green space and rocks, and this lake, it really is going to look the part. And yes, World of Frozen is going to sit right at the back of the lake, and that's going to be all opening in 2026. You've got some new restaurants and other buildings. There's going to be a new nighttime show on the lake, and also as well you've got a small Tangled attraction that's going to be just off the lake too. Now originally when this was all announced, there was going to be a Star Wars land added around the lake off to the left hand side, and you could see it in the original concept art for the future project of Walt Disney Studios Park at Disneyland Paris. And then it kind of disappeared from the concept art, and there was a lot of rumours that they're no longer going to build that, and then it completely disappeared, all mention of it. On the construction walls in Walt Disney Studios, they took any mention of it off, and it all just kind of disappeared. And then rumours started circulating earlier this year that they were looking at a completely new original land to build around the new lake. Obviously with Frozen at the back, there's plenty of expansion room around, but there's a good plot on the left hand side. And at D23 they made the huge announcement that they're going to be building a Lion King themed land at Walt Disney Studios. I mean, for me, that is really exciting. And yes, they're changing the name to Disney Adventure World. And I think it makes more sense, the fact they're changing the name now to reflect all these different IPs that are going to be within the park. I'm not saying that it's my favourite name ever for a Disney park. It does sound quite generic, but it does fit more than a Studios, because realistically, there's not much Studios left about that park anymore. And when you've got this beautiful new lake and the areas around, you go into all these different worlds and having your adventure, so I can understand the reasoning behind it. Now, this Lion King land looks like it's going to be fantastic, and finally, Disneyland Paris will be getting a long-awaited water ride, something that I've wanted there for a long time. I do love my water rides, and I think Disneyland Paris really needs one. Don't get me wrong, it gets cold in the winter, but there's still a lot of hot days out there in France. I've been there in the summer and even like some early spring and autumn where it's been really hot. Certainly fine for a water ride, and it's very promising to finally see one is going to be coming to Disneyland Paris. Now, with this, it's going to be the first ever Lion King themed area in a Disney park. It's going to be located just off to the side of the lake, which is known as Adventure Bay. And yeah, I think in my opinion, I'm more excited for this than just another Star Wars land. Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and Hollywood Studios, you know, it's a brilliant area. I'm not a huge Star Wars person myself, but I can appreciate the areas. They're fantastic, they're immersive, there's so much going on, the attractions are brilliant. With Disneyland Paris, it looked like we were going to be getting a smaller version of Galaxy's Edge, a watered down version. And for me, I'd much rather go to the different Disney parks around the world and see different things. I don't want to travel to Japan and see the same thing as what I'm seeing in California. I think it's nice how things are different. And for Disneyland Paris to be getting a unique area and attraction to Lion King, I couldn't be happier. I love The Lion King, and it's to celebrate its 30th anniversary. I mean, that's really exciting, so I cannot wait for this. Now, we've got a bit of a quote here from Josh D'Amaro from D23, so I'll just read that out for you now. This larger-than-life area will bring guests on a journey through the African savannah and immerse them into the unforgettable adventures of Simba, Timon, Pumbaa, and many other iconic characters from the beloved Disney film. And then they also said, Disney, that the Imagineers will bring to life the majestic Pride Rock, which will serve as the gateway to an adventure-filled water attraction that will plunge guests beneath the rock to follow Simba on his journey from cub to king. It's really exciting. I'm liking the story. So obviously with there, they mentioned plunge because it's going to have a drop. The storyline as well, the fact that, you're going to follow Simba on his journey from cub to king. And they also said they're going to push the boundaries of immersion with its unparalleled level of detail in the attraction. A new unique attraction, a spectacular water experience with state-of-the-art audio animatronics. Now, I love animatronics. Of course, I've always been a big fan of water rides at the Disney parks, particularly Splash Mountain. I'm a huge Splash Mountain fan. And of course, I'm looking forward to getting on Tiana's Bio Adventure. It's already open at Magic Kingdom in Florida. It's going to be opening later this year at Disneyland in California. I'm not too sure when we're going to get to ride it, but I do like that overall feel of an attraction. Of course, I think I'll always prefer Splash Mountain. I'm a big Splash Mountain lover, and it still operates out in Japan. We did it earlier this year at Tokyo Disneyland. But you know what? To see another style of that attraction coming to a Disney park, for me, going along a water ride with drops, seeing animatronics, whether it's the Tiana animatronics, whether it's Splash Mountain, it gets me excited. And the fact they're doing this with Lion King looks like it's going to be amazing. There was also a model that was revealed at D23, and the first thing I noticed from this is how similar the design of this looks to Splash Mountain. Obviously, you've got Pride Rock there with Simba, but the design of that, it literally looks like a Splash Mountain, our own version coming to Disneyland Paris. I remember many years ago in the mid-2000s, there was rumours of a Splash Mountain coming to Frontierland in Disneyland Park. So finally, we're getting this long-awaited water ride in Paris, and I made up for it. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on that one. But yeah, the fact that, we're getting this attraction, the show building looks massive from the model. There's rumours that this could be one of the longest Disney attractions made, so that's quite interesting. The building looks huge. In terms of how many drops it's going to have, is it going to be like Tiana's or Splash where it's got various drops inside, or is it just going to have the one bigger drop? Are they going to be able to control that depending on the weather and lower the water level so you don't get as wet? Because obviously this is for a European climate. A lot of our American viewers may not realise this, but we've got a major water ride at Phantasialand in Germany called Chapas, and they can actually lower the level of the water depending on how cold it is, the time of the year. So maybe we'll see them implement something like this on this new Lion King ride in Disney Adventure World. But for this, it looks amazing. The attraction itself, I think, will be wonderful. Going around all these different scenes, the music, it's based on the classic animated movie. It's not based on the remake, the live action. The concept art looks like it's live action, but then the model, it's not. And the Disney have already confirmed it's not based on the live action. This is based on classic, original Lion King, and I can't wait for it. I'm really pumped for this one. It's not just the attraction though, it's a full new area, and Disney are calling it as Pride Lands, it seems, at the moment, so it seems like that is going to be the official name for this. Now with this, it's going to have character meet and greets, themed dining experiences, and shopping opportunities as well. I do wish Disney would move away from this just building one attraction in a land though. I think for a land, in my opinion, you should have at least 2, maybe 3 attractions. I think for this, like a small little filler ride would be great there too, but still, I'm not complaining we're finally getting this water ride. This will be a major e-ticket dark ride and water ride coming to Disney Adventure World. Now, of course, we already know that the lake area and Frozen, that's going to be opening from 2026. When's this going to open? Well, they're starting work in 2025, so next year on this. But when's it going to open? I mean, realistically, they're going to want to let the new area settle in, aren't they? Like Frozen and the lake, that opens in 2026. I doubt they'd open it straight away in 27. My prediction, this is purely my prediction, they're aiming to open for 2028. So it's still a few years away. Disneyland Paris are quite slow with projects. Disney in general are quite slow at building. I'm really hoping that we see things speed up with this one to get it open sooner. But I think realistically, don't expect this before 2028, especially for parks in general. When you're making a massive investment, you want to let it pay its return. And if they open the rest of it in 2026 and then open a couple of years later with this, it's a reason for people to go back. I could be wrong, it's purely my speculation, but that's when I think this is going to open. 2028 minimum, could even be later than that, could be 29 or 30. I hope not though. The fact they're breaking ground in 2025, 3 years construction, you got to think there's a lot less infrastructure than what they've had to do this time. They've had to build literally a whole new walkway, a lake, an area, all the facilities around it. With this, you know, it's just an expansion off that. So a lot of that infrastructure is kind of in place close by now, like pipes, electricity, you know, so I don't think it'll take as long to build as the frozen area and the lake, but I could be completely wrong on that. Purely my speculation. But there we go. Pride Lands, a brand new Lion King attraction, is coming to Disneyland Paris. And as always, I love knowing your thoughts and any feedback. So get it down below in the video comments. I'll read through each and every comment and really do appreciate all of your support. Of course, if you enjoy watching our videos, whether it's the vlogs, the news updates, the POVs, really appreciate if you subscribe, turn the notifications bell on to be notified when we upload a brand new video here on the channel. I'm Sean Sandbrook, thanks for watching, and that leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next video.